Today on Vahagraphy, we are talking about criticism in photography. Have you ever been criticized of your photos? It's called maybe constructive criticism. You took it the wrong way. Is it welcome? Is it helpful? Is it bad for photography? Is today's generation, do they welcome being criticized constructively? And why people take it the wrong way sometimes? And when it's good and when it's bad. We're going to discuss all that. This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahag, your rock and roll photographer. When I was coming up, when I was learning photography, when I was real young, I would go shoot with older guys. They're seasoned professionals. Basically, they would criticize me all the time. It would get to the point where I would just second guess my work, second guess myself. Should I even be doing this? Because, back in the day, I'd hear some really, really hurtful things. But over the years, I quickly understood why I was getting criticized, because they wanted me to improve my photography, because they wanted me to grow, because they wanted me to learn to shoot the right way. And, at the time, I was young. I thought they were just being jerks and what do they know? They don't know, they're old timers. This is the new generation, and art is subjective. Yeah, art is subjective. That's true. But in photography, there's such thing as a bad photo. Yeah, that does exist. And if there's room for improvement, why not let the learning photographer know, hey, there's nothing wrong with that. Hey, maybe try this next time. Maybe try that next time. I think today a lot of people are they're afraid of getting hurt, right? They're very sensitive, today's generation. They're afraid of getting hurt. They need the safe space. They need, it's crazy. The amount of stuff that we growing up back in the day heard from other professionals. I think today's generation, they would just roll up in the corner and quit and cry. The way they would deliver it too, it was just mean, like, why even holding a camera? I heard people telling me this all the time. Why even holding a camera? You're not a photographer. What kind of picture is this? But then later on, I knew why they were saying that. They wanted me to improve. They wanted me to get upset. They wanted me to put more effort into taking a better photo. It all depends on where it's coming from too. So there's cases and that it's coming from a bad place, meaning there might be some jealousy involved. Your photo is actually excellent, and they're afraid that you're gonna surpass them, compete for their clients, and they're gonna just dog you. They're gonna tell you hurtful things about your photo to throw you off the market, and there's a such thing as that. So it all depends on where it's coming from as well. That's important. And you can pretty much tell when somebody's trying to help you or hurt you when they're criticizing your photos. I do it all the time. There's nothing wrong with that, guys. I bring up the music thing all the time because I know both worlds. In music, musicians, they get criticized all the time. I mean, we're talking about great musicians. They get criticized. What is the first thing we say when we hear a track? Oh, it's great, or it sucks, or I would have done this, or I would have done that. And guess what? Even the best of the best musicians get criticized when they're recording in the studio by their producer. What do the producers say? Oh, no, it's not good. Try it this way. That sucked. Let's do it again. That sucked. Let's do it again. Well, what happens? Yeah, some of them have egos. They have problems with that, but they're professional. They take the criticism and they improve on that. The producer tells them in the studio, let's do it this way, though. Let's do it that way, though. So there's nothing wrong with a photographer telling you, hey, try it this way this next time. Instead of that, let's do this. And in this day and age, in some forums, in some platforms, in some shows, this criticism is not allowed. And I'm just like, I'm baffled by that. You know, in a platform, in a forum, not too long ago, I was, watching people display photos of their work, and you were not allowed to criticize. You're not. Everything was excellent. Oh, this is awesome. This is great. They'd show up a picture, and I'd have 10 things to say about it, but I couldn't say anything because you were not allowed to criticize. But if we constantly feed the artist something that, if we tell them it's good just for the sake of them feeling good about themselves, then they're never going to improve. You see what I'm saying? So there's nothing wrong with that if it's coming from a good place. So again, I'll say this again. You can pretty much tell when somebody's trying to help you or hurt you. Now, I'm going to show you an example. I'm going to criticize my own work today. I'm going to show you an example of what I mean by that. And let me know in the comments if you've been criticized or, and how you deal with it. Are you okay with that? Because I've criticized a lot of photographers, and a lot of photographers have criticized my work, and I welcome it. If somebody's going to criticize it, just give me some points to improve on. Don't just say it sucks. Like, okay, well, what do you mean? How can I improve on making a better image? So in today's video, what I'm going to do is I'm going to criticize my own shots and what I did to improve it. And we'll go from there, just so you can see an example of what I'm talking about. We shouldn't be so sensitive. I hear this all the time. Like I said, art is subjective. It is. But when you see something that's really bad that can be improved on, you can make a better photo. So the first example, what do you see here? You see a bride and her mother, right, getting ready, and taking little moments of the day, getting ready, putting a dress on and stuff like that. But what can you do to improve this? When I look at the shot that I took, well, it's really not capturing. I just don't like the composition. I don't like the bride's head, and just the whole photo just really doesn't tell a story. But so what I did was to criticize this photo, getting closer to the action. This tells a story. This is more, it's closer in on the action and more detail. I think this tells more of a story than that other photograph. Moving on to this one. Yeah, she's getting ready. I don't like the whole scene here. The ceiling is crooked. I think the ceiling is at a slant. That's why it's like this. But there's too much going on. The story is being lost here. So I'm criticizing myself. What can I do? Well, again, getting closer and take a better shot. All right, there you go. I changed the angle a little bit, still having that natural light in there, and just taking a better photo. She's doing exactly the same thing as she did in this photo, but now I'm at another angle, tilted the bride just a little bit, getting closer, and take a better shot. This is a much better shot than the previous one. So moving on here, details. Sure, you can take a picture of this. It shows the bouquet, the bridal bouquet, right? But what can I do to make this photo more interesting? I don't like the background. I think that's a distraction. The blinds, the little handle of the blinds, there's too much going on the table. What did I do here? I mean, it's an okay photo, but it's not great. So what I did was, don't be too in a rush to do this. Pick up the bouquet. Take it somewhere else. Much better photo, right? Take it somewhere else. Same bouquet. Took it somewhere else where it's less distractive, a little bit complimentary of the colors. The lighting is better. And I took a better shot. You can take a photo like this. And it's great. I do it all the time. Mother and daughter bridal photo, right? That's fine. But I wanted a shot a little more artistic, a little more telling the story, more feeling, more engagement, more emotion. So what I did was, there you go. You have, again, bride and mother, but at a different angle, a little closer. I brought the bride in with that beautiful natural light from the window. The mom is looking at her, emotion. I'm telling the story. She's remembering her wedding. And it's just emotional moments here. If you look at this photo, which is a traditional shot. I mean, take both. But if I were to criticize this, I don't like the window. I would do something like this. Something like this tells a story. It's more meaningful. And to me, this is a beautiful picture. A simple brighter photo like this, it's okay. The dress, the background, sure. Sometimes you can do the exact opposite. The other two examples, we're getting in closer and taking a more artistic shot, telling the story. But sometimes you can take a better photo if you're up close, if you back up. This is a basic picture. Sure, it's fine. I don't like just the angle of view of the shot. So what I did, I wanted to back up at the same exact location. We haven't changed her at all. She's sitting in the same place. But I backed up. I posed her a little bit better. I like the look. I'm still getting that window, but we're getting the whole scene in here. So a much better photograph. Same concept here. This is a cool photo. Bride sitting on the bed. Nice picture. You get the full dress. But if I were to criticize this, I don't like the bed railing, the post. Sometimes you could just come in and take a better photo by changing the lens. And what I did was I changed the lens and I took a photo like this. Getting in closer, nice little portrait. We have the same exact pose, same exact bride, same exact smile, but we have a better picture by just changing the lens and taking it as a portrait instead of the whole dress. Now, there's places where you can do this, where you want to show off the dress, the whole dress. The bedroom is not really a great place. You can take her outside to a park or something where you can show the whole dress off. This is not probably where you want to do it. I don't like how the dress and the bed is mixed here. It's just a big mess. So this photo is unnecessary. I'd go in closer and take a portrait. Again, same exact pose, but I changed the lens. Last example here, father and daughter moment. This is an okay photo of them looking at each other. A great emotional moment. I like the lighting, but what can I do to this photo to make it better? I really don't like the lines in the back. So what can I do to make this photo pop? What can I do to make this photo just more emotional? So what I did was, I'm featuring the father here, right? I want to feature the father and not the bride. I want to show the bride a little bit, but I want to really capture the father's emotion. Now I'm criticizing very detailed. This is a very detailed criticism. Capture the emotion, right? This is what's on my mind as a photographer when I'm taking a picture of father and daughter. It should be very emotional. This is the last day the bride is going to be at home. She's moving on. She's moving out. So it should be emotional, right? What I did was I wanted to capture the father's emotion. Tilted the father, showed the bride in the foreground, but I wanted to emphasize his face, his excitement, his joy, his sadness, whatever he's feeling here. Looking at her, look at the detail of his eyes, and the bride there. The bride's in the foreground. This image right here tells a story. And I love it, Have you ever noticed, like in movies where they actually show them talking and one of the characters are back facing the camera? Same concept here. I just wanted to highlight the father. So criticize my own work. There's nothing wrong with doing that. So when people show up, when they have photo reviews or when they have things that they show, there are some professionals that are showing amazing work, and then there's some beginner photographers that show work that it can be improved on. I don't want to say the word sucked. I don't want to say that because that might be hurtful, but you can improve on your photography. I just showed you a few examples of how in wedding photography you can be criticized and improve on your work. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. As artists, we have eyes, we see, and maybe it's another idea. Hey, maybe try this, maybe try that. And you have better results. You have different results. And sometimes there might be nothing wrong with your original photo, but there's nothing wrong with changing it up a little bit, giving you ideas. The more tools you have in your toolkit, as a photographer, the better you are. Okay, the better you are when it comes to posing, lighting, ideas, telling a story. You can never know it all in photography. There's always room for improvement. There's always room to be a better photographer. And when I do weddings like this that I shot, we want to tell the story, but we want to do it our way, our style, and don't get hurt when somebody's trying to criticize you. There's no such thing as it's not allowed. Why? If we constantly feed photographers, if we constantly tell our kids, dude, you're great, but we never tell them what they're doing wrong, they'll never improve. So there's nothing wrong with constructive criticism. There's nothing wrong with criticism as long as it's coming from a good place. It's not coming from a place of jealousy or hurt or trying to be harmful or take you off the market or making you quit photography. There's people like that are they feel threatened by your taking pictures, that they want to just tell you, hey, you're not a good photographer. You can pretty much tell, like I said, where it's coming from. Let me know in the comments if you've ever felt that way and if you welcome constructive criticism, because that's one of the ways we improve our photography. There's nothing wrong with that at all. And if somebody's saying, hey, try this, try that, or maybe do this, watch your composition, watch your lighting, this is not good, try this, don't get hurt. They're trying to give you ideas. They're trying to make you improve your photography. So I guess I'd say, you know what? Stand tall, grow a backbone, don't get hurt. And because back in the day, we took everything. We took all the beatings. But that made us into better photographers. That made us stronger emotionally. And we need that in today's life. So we need that. All right, guys, if you like content like this, like and subscribe. We'll see you on the next video. Hope everybody's having a great day out there. Hope everybody is rocking and rolling. Constructive criticism, there's nothing wrong with it. Don't get hurt. We're just making you try to improve your photography, because when you have better results, you get more excited and you want to do more and more. You want to improve more and more. So go out there and rock and roll. That's all. This is Vahagraphy. I'm Vahagan, your rock and roll photographer. We'll see you on the next video. Rock and roll.